This is a voice lesson about diction from the author Charles Dickens. Diction refers to the author's choice of words. Words are the basic tools of the writer. Just as a painter uses color and light, or a musician uses sound and rhythm, a writer uses words. In order to write well, you have to find the perfect word. The perfect word is clear, concrete, and exact. It says exactly what you want it to say, is specific, and creates just the picture you see in your mind. A character doesn't just look for something, she rummages. You don't hang around the house, you mope around the house. The perfect word expresses perfectly the feeling or idea you want to get across. It is not always easy to find the perfect word, however. If the word you already know isn't the perfect word, stretch yourself a little. Ask someone for a better word. Look up the word you know in a dictionary and search for synonyms. Or you can try a thesaurus, one of the writer's most valuable tools. Some words are especially overused and tired, certainly not perfect. These words have lost their freshness and impact. Avoid them at all times. Below is a short list of words that you should avoid. They are general abstract words that create no clear picture in the reader's mind. Consider these forbidden words and eliminate them from your written vocabulary. You'll be a better writer for it. These are words like good, nice, pretty, beautiful, fine, bad, thing, really, very, terrible, wonderful, or a lot. Words don't simply have meaning. Words also have denotation and connotation. Denotation is the literal meaning of the word, and connotation is the meaning suggested by a word, the feeling evoked by a word. It's important to know both aspects of a word's meaning. For example, the words ambitious and eager have roughly the same denotation, desirous of reaching a goal. However, the connotations of these words are quite different. Ambitious carries with it the feeling of wanting something for selfish reasons, and with a determination that sometimes ignores the effects of actions on others. Eager has a different connotation altogether, a feeling of enthusiasm and fresh-faced optimism. It is a more positive word. When you are thinking about diction, it is important to consider the full meaning of the word. Words can be formal or informal depending on the writer's audience and purpose. Just as you talk differently to your friends and your teachers, writers choose different words depending on whom they are writing for and why. If you are writing a letter to your school principal to convince him or her that your opinion about school uniforms is the correct one, you should use formal, strong, and specific words with clearly understood meanings. If, on the other hand, you are writing a short story to be read by people your own age, you might want to use slang and lots of teen dialect. A writer's words should always suit the audience and purpose of the piece. Effective diction gives freshness, originality, and precision to writing. When you use words in surprising and unusual ways, you have the power to make people think, laugh, or examine new ideas. When you use words in precise and technical ways, you have the power to help people understand difficult concepts. That's a gift and a responsibility. Learn to experiment and play with words. You need a good vocabulary in order to be a good writer. How well I recollect the kind of day it was. I smell the fog that hung about the place. I see the hoar frost, or the white ice crystals that form on the ground in cold weather, ghostly through it. I feel my rimy, covered with frost, hair fall clammy on my cheek. I look along the dim perspective of the schoolroom with a sputtering candle here and there to light up the foggy morning. And the breath of the boys wreathing, or twisting around like a wreath, and smoking in the raw cold as they blow upon their fingers and tap their feet upon the floor. So here's the first question. What words help you understand that this room is cold and dark? The second question, what is a sputtering candle? How does describing the candle help you understand the feeling of the whole room? So there's a variety of words that told you the room is cold, listed here, and words that tell you the room is dark, listed here. A sputtering candle is burning poorly, making spitting and popping sounds, not burning smoothly. In other words, there's a serious draft in the room and the candle is in danger of going out. The sputtering candle reinforces the cold, dark, drafty feeling of the schoolroom. The only warmth and light is a sputtering candle, which is not much. The feeling of the room, then, is one of poverty and despair, and implies that the lives of those who inhabit this room are bleak indeed, without adequate warmth and light. Your task, the now you try it, is to describe a room that is uncomfortable. In your description, use words that are clear, concrete, and exact, as Dickens does. Use a vivid adjective to describe an object in the room, like sputtering candle. The adjective and object should help your reader understand the feeling of the room. Remember, don't simply state that it's uncomfortable. Instead, create a picture for the reader, capturing how specific aspects of the room make it uncomfortable. A couple general strategies. Do not use figurative language. If you said something like the room is as hot as a furnace, or the room burns like the sun, or the walls reach out and envelop me with heat, In all of these cases, we are making these abstract comparisons. Instead, we want to choose concrete and specific things that help to paint the picture instead of making it more abstract. And we also want to avoid general description. We don't want to just say the room was hot, or I feel the warmth of the air, or the heat caused me to sweat. These things are more obvious and basic. Instead, we want to use vivid description. So here's an example. You might say, each dry, raspy inhalation scorched my throat. I blinked rapidly and squinted through radiant, wavy lines of heat, rising from the floorboards. My feet shuffled heavily to the beat of the pulsing fire alarm, while I gasped for oxygen in the discordant roar of the flames. You can picture this scene because many of the concrete details of the room are explicitly described. Not just how they make you feel, but actually the concrete details. Go ahead and try to write your own, a couple of sentences like this.